Back in the green room, you guys were, I planned on asking about this, and you guys kind of just naturally brought it up back there about how Dylan actually credited you on the back of the album, and not just in tiny small fine print, but I mean, can you talk about what that meant to you guys?
I think Ron had when we were talking to Greenwood, had a pretty good thing going on there about putting the name on the back of the album, what it meant to all of us to have.
Oh. Well.
Get your mic.
Well, I mean, it's like you try and things, either the cards kind of fall down for you or the stars line up and you get, like you were saying, getting ready to go back to the Houndstooth and play at a gig that night. And he said, "No, you ain't. You're going to stay with us," Well, talking about little credits like that, one of the most special things that I saw is that when you and I worked on the Songs of Love and Hate, what it was 18 months or something like that, a long time. And when the album credits came out on Billy Donovan, it just had 4 stars. Remember that? No words or anything. It was just like, the job that he did was 4 stars. But yeah, when you see your name and see these people that will make a thoughtful comment that sometimes you got to even read between the lines to figure out exactly what they meant, but you spend enough time with them to know it does mean a heck of a lot.
Yeah, and I know Wayne Moss.
The thing about Bob Dylan was, Bob was the kind, and Leonard too, for that matter, the audience that they had, the people that they had, they were kind of audience that people wanted to know everything about that artist that they could find out. Anything biographical at the time, there was very little insight into it. They would not let reporters anywhere around the studio. I mean, it was just
closed session.
Yeah, it was just totally closed session, and anything that you could find out about Bob Dylan that you didn't know, you wanted to look at. Right. So people literally turned those big old vinyl albums over on the back and actually read what it said.
Back then, yeah.
And back in those days. And when your name was, if you look at that album, Aaron, you'll see the names of the musicians that are prominently displayed up there. It was one of the biggest things that ever happened to me, and I would think to you guys too, in my lifetime, because millions and millions of people that had no idea who Charlie Daniels was or what he did or where he was from or anything about it, turned that record over and saw the name on the other side, and playing on a Bob Dylan record really meant something. It was a big career boost to me, for sure.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but before then, it was just almost unheard of for the musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, that specific record, and Charlie and I were there. We were lucky enough to be invited in to the mixdowns. It was just Bob and Neil Wilburn, the engineer, and Bob Johnson and Charlie and I, and they discussed about the credits. And Dylan was adamant that he didn't just want some little thing. And that was like a trendsetter, and Johnson just jumped all over it. Thereafter, all the records we did with Bob, we got credit on it. And then everybody else wanted to get on the bandwagon. All of a sudden, we were getting credit on the album jackets, where before that we never were. And now to this day, people will say, who played on what or whatever. If you tell them, the official sanctioning bodies of who played on what up there say, well, no, you didn't. I said, well, yeah, I was there. Ask Charlie. Well, but you didn't get your name on the record. There's no credit. And this was just huge for us and Ron and Charlie and everybody to be recognized and document validated. Well, who the heck was it? And it was just really a new page in Nashville for the sidemen to be recognized.
Yeah, I've heard Wayne Moss, like on the gatefold of Blonde on Blonde, inside the gatefold, Bob Dylan lists some of the musicians, and Wayne Moss and others have talked about how, kind of before that we were just anonymous, and now all of a sudden our name's on a Dylan record. Yeah. Now, Ron, we've been talking a lot about Nashville.